Nothing could stop me from erupting his stomach. Don't have to climb to the charts to see you plummet. If I ask Osama bin, they say let's bun it. Bring it, BET won't let me perform on Teen Summit. I never took the rap oath like whack MCs. D. Brad didn't, so I see he's got clean knees. Handkerchief head and Jemima niggas giving fiat to fags like Hilfiger and other niggas. Lifting your face cause your mind's deconstructed. Thinking like a cyborg, doing what's instructed. AI to me is one of the best engineers. And punks charging studio time are leeching queers except Nia. Cause he never gets his props, but never conspired or did work for devilish cops. He was on the block and been on the block, still on the block, but can't get knocked or get locked. Studio gangsters wanted shot up like Pac to make a name, but this ain't a game. So serious, you think it's normal rhyming, seeking rights, but you know you'll never find them. Rappers are puppets, yeah, just watch me wind them up. Gangster lyrics got youths in crime and stuck. I would have sworn it was quicksand. Riding a bike with no seat, no chain, no kickstand. I'm giving you too much and you can't withstand. Like Malcolm and the NOI, I got a disband. I might have a deal, some distribution, maybe not. Seen too many cheated when they signed a dotted spot. Nothing could stop me from erupting his stomach. Don't have to climb to the charts to see you plummet. If I ask Osama bin, they say let's bun it. BET won't let me perform on Teen Summit. Call me, man. Nothing could stop me from erupting his stomach. Don't have to climb to the charts to see you plummet. If I ask Osama bin, they say let's bun it. BET won't let me perform on Teen Summit. I watch these rap Moors looking all out of butt. Basketball Moors, all they do is slap up the butt. Don't say it's a game just to justify the fag. I seen LJ and Shaq dressing in drag. I seen Isaiah and Magic Kiss and justify it. Charles Barkley knows the truth and he can't deny it. Try it. They boxing out with the ass and back him down with the butt. I'm looking at ball nowadays like what the fuck? Where's the high fives? Nowhere to be seen. I'm seeing gods made a hit calling sisters ice cream. They call her earth and yeah, they treat her like dirt. Noble Jews said humanity is written on the skirt. All you wanna do is get numbers and flirt. Homies over hoes, just like Ernie and Bert. Gangstalicious, got youths like Riley promoting the gay. 2 earrings and long shirts, man, you're shopping all day. High heel slave hanging tree boots, you coon goose. Wearing fatigues on the block and you're surrounded by troops. You got guns, you claiming tons, but take clubs to the head while the police are selling you drugs. Undercover, sometime as a cracker or your brother. No invite for the sellouts to the Last Supper. Nothing could stop me from erupting his stomach. Don't have to climb to the charts to see you plummet. If I ask Osama bin, they say let's bun it. BET won't let me perform on Teen Summit.
Yeah. Grand rising. I looked inside of my temple, became enlightened. I bring the fury, no Tyson. It's Ali Khan Bey. I'm focused on my duty. I'm here to master the day, so make way for Prince Ali. I channel my chi. We part in the sea. And just like my mother's brother, I came from up under. I came up straight out the gutter. I bring down lightning and thunder like Thor's hammer. But I'm low-key when I strike. I'm piercing through the toughest armor of a night. I'm rolling up that Mafia leaf. Give me the light, no Sean Paul. If the body is the temple, I'm a Taj Mahal, never fall. We the rock of Gibraltar. Why the hell would we falter? We not under oath. Oh, he the GOAT. Well, I'm coming for the throat. He out of line. Death to the dark priest. Sincerely the kind of cons.
3 trimesters of greatness pop. This Moorish science, this ain't pop. I recollect, applied and perfect. It wasn't long ago, I was calling collect. In a maximum facility, now I got humility, unmatched ability, give me serenity. Virgo, Pisces, Taurus, my true trinity. The infantry, perfecting symmetry. Wanna float in these waters and take your density with show efficiency. Are you complacent? You gotta look within to answer that statement. You gotta say Ashe when liquid hit the pavement. Containment, master your impulses or fall for the hypnosis. We smelling like hemp roaches, maintaining intense focus. I ain't with the excuses. If I look within, you find out where the truth is.
I'm sitting on my square all day, Studious and street Moors don't play. You talking colorable? Man, fuck what you say. I know the Constitution is in my DNA. I know I'm a Moor, it's in my DNA. And I'm the true American, it's in my DNA. Got my fans in my turban, mother's DNA. I do it for the nation, activate your DNA. As I walk down the street like a street Moor, I'm looking for some food, fuck the meat store. See, once you get the truth, your body fiend for more. I study, get the bookstore. I study, and I want some more. I came out the womb, I'm not made of straw. I navigate the sea, I demonstrate the law. And I ain't speaking on that color shit at all. I'm a Lodio, Islam, I want it all. I defend mine with the scimitar, don't be alarmed. I'm on my square, shining bright, that more's a star. Wake up, sun, gaze to the morning star.
Tell everyone about Drew Ali, 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 tell everyone. Let the world know Drew Ali came. Brought a flag, religion, and free national name. Brought an ID card, don't flash at the hybrid. Learn about the righteous and when we were the pirates. Ancestral creed, clandestine heed. Warnings of the prophet, they can't intercede. Canaanite, Hittite, Amorite brethren needing new homes to Atlantis direction. North, South, and Central, flag continental. Founder and uniting of the Moorish. Tell everyone about Drew Ali, 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 tell everyone. Let the world know Drew Ali came. Brought a flag, religion, and free national name. Brought an ID card, don't flash at the hybrid. Learn about the righteous and when we were the pirates. Ancestral creed, clandestine heed. Warnings of the prophet, they can't intercede. Canaanite, Hittite, Amorite brethren needing new homes to Atlantis direction. North, South, and Central, flag continental. Founder and uniting of the Moorish holy temple of science. Nationality is alliance, always in defiance of their wardship compliance. Active, not passive, estate is massive. Use the compass, draw circles around your passions. Carpenter's tool in the man workshop. Corsica bandana, covered eyes in bird box. Return to ancestors' mind, descendants of ancients. Forget the mundane, knowledge attainments. Guided by the principles, our own laws and customs. If they teach but don't bring up Drew Ali, don't trust them. Tell everyone about Drew Ali, 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 tell everyone. Tell everyone about Drew Ali, 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 tell everyone.
I told a Filipino woman about Drew Ali. We got more into the pedigree. She said she more. I said that meant more to me. Couldn't have this conversation a few years back when I was a few years black. 2,000 years I cried in tears, but I'm back. Still here, thought manifested from a higher tier. I appear spirit and flesh with divine warnings. Choose life or death. I heard my mother utter to the Negro, black or color, African American, and that's another. Moors, be yourself, no other. You're the last puzzle in place, now move others. Hatred, slander, lewdness, murders, the pleasure of the lower. Rich in promise, so you can prevent effects from causes. Sow a seed planters, sow a seed growers. Deep in the soil, with love, truth, peace, freedom and justice. Born on a Friday, I put that on Venus. Creative faith, Allah, use a genius. You sent your last prophet to uplift me, so I gotta tell everybody. Tell everyone about Drew Ali, 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 tell everyone. Tell everyone about Drew Ali, 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 tell everyone.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary
Bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th day. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes civil little a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Sorbet, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. And no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake's still showing up, stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for life, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finishing.
Moorish Omar, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost in metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Facts slap a dirty more or a Drew Ali critic. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brain waves, squashed by heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real. All I see is false evidence. VAR feminists, stomped on by elephants. Won't like go prejudice, but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the pull magnetic resonance. Apis horns of the sacred book called Maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence. Ace all the testaments. Tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with no they live shades. Keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades. Not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Want to give it a try? Islam to all the Moors. Islam to all the Moors. Happy Venus Day. Peace and love to all. The Moor asked in the chat, what's the end game? I'm about to show you right now. I'll show you what the end game is right now. Peace and love to all the Moors. We give honors to the illustrious Noble Drew Ali. We give supreme honors. This one right here. This is the end game right here. This is end game, where it stopped. End game is, everybody go back to 1913 to 1929 and Roni riding with Drew Ali. That's end game. But we already know that's not going to happen because Drew Ali already told these Moors there's only going to be a handful saved with fingers left over. So don't think you're seeing all these Moors around me and you think that, you know, stuff is straight. I have eyes at the back of my head at the convention. Who do you think brought these Moors into this? But they didn't know who he was. They thought he was some, you know, leader guy. So endgame is our people getting back to where it stopped. Because everybody was down with it. Remember, there was no NOI yet. There was no Hebrew Israelites yet. There was no chematologists yet. There was no Aboriginal, indigenous, whoever telling you that genealogy and talk to your great grandma who ate pig feet and all that stuff to tell you about you're Indian. The hell out of here. You're call them out.
Who else is not? Who else wasn't around? That's around today. LGBT, whoever like that, they weren't around. You know? African, go back to Africa, whatever, they weren't around. Those are niggers, and they were on the plantation. Stop the BS. They called themselves black. They didn't even count in what's going on. They didn't even count. Right? Know that endgame, because I know you say endgame, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about when all the people and everything's lined up and then we can be the nation of the... That ain't... You better... Illusions of grandeur, that is reference point. Right? Alhambra and stuff like that is all reference point. That's not where it's at. Endgame is this. Really digest what's going on. Everything around you is falling. Right? Everything around you is falling. Now you're standing there. And the Moors telling you, yo, get over here, we got the bunker over here. Like, why are you standing there? No, I don't want to be a Moor, it's not Islamic or whatever. Stuff's crumbling all around you. And then when everything crumbles around you and you're on your tippy toes in the middle of the vastness of nothing, now you want to talk about help. Could you sign this so that we could jump over this thing right here? But we've been telling you from back then to get on. Oh, that's condescending. Oh, all right. So let's not go into that stuff then. Let's deal with what's endgame. Endgame is the individual knowing the truth about their nationality and their birthrights, because they are not Negro, black, colored, and all that other stuff. Once you hear Negro, black, colored, and stuff like that, and that's all you hear about, you don't hear about anything else, know that you probably want to step back to realize that whatever they're talking about has nothing to do with you. And endgame is about you. Noble Ali is your prophet. This is your nationality and birthrights, not somebody else's. So you better go maybe get a natal chart done and all that stuff so you can already know what endgame is for yourself. So that way you don't have to put time trying to figure out how you're going to do your whatever when stuff's already there. What? Now you got time to go do other stuff. You don't got to figure out anything. Just check the chart. Okay, these days are my high days. Okay, these days are days. Don't do stuff on that day. Definitely don't fly on that day. Don't whatever on that day. Don't. That's already mapped out. You don't even have to check that like that. That's already there. All you have to do is do all the other stuff that you're supposed to do now. And then that cramped the system, right? Because everybody's going to be doing for self and then doing for kind. And then it takes a village to raise a child and all that BS that we talk about, but we never demonstrate. Right? Like I know for myself, if I put my hand up, whether it's Moorish name, straw name, name from ball, name from rhyming, whatever, youth are gonna rap. Like, yeah, he's actually alright. He's not. Yeah, he got me out of some crazy stuff. Cause I'm young and dumb. They'll vouch. But you know, the influence is crazy that they're under. You know? So I can vouch that it's about the individual finding out for themselves. And everything around you is a reference point. Everything around you is, if we're looking at it vertical, there's ladders everywhere going to different heights. So you're either going to stand there or get on a ladder. But where is it going? Well, that's the ladder that you chose. Like, didn't you check the chart to see which ladder you're supposed to go so then you could go directly to what you're supposed to do? Remember, and all this is endgame. Because nothing's going to happen for the nation unless the nationals are doing it. Was the nation's doing something with no nationals? The nation of Moors. And somebody's asking, well, so when are we going to have the Moorish hospital? And then they're sitting on 50 million. So it all stems from, again, going back to Noble Drew Ali and him putting it in absolute perfect perspective. Because it's not something that he came up with, it's something that's come down from the ages to where we are now. And when you say More Science Temple and you're thinking about some place where you get a card and be a member and then you pay the dues and then you think that this is just like YMCA or something like that, that's not the same. This is nationhood. This is nationhood. Know that before anything else, this is nationhood. I don't care if you don't see a Moorish hospital. It's still nationhood. I don't care if you don't see a driver's license office for the Moors. Because it is what Moors make it. And I know that there's Moors who rep for that they're Moors. They rep for Moors to the point people running up to the car talking, singing about Moors. High on meth, drunk, whatever, it doesn't even matter. Why is he singing about Moors? Why does the drunk guy know, sees Moors and say, oh yeah, I'm going to sing a song about the Moors right now? Because I saw some Moors. And he'd be passing niggers every day, all day, never stop and sing a song to them. What are you talking about? He's a meth head and he knows about Moors to come sing songs? And we're going to ride with our people who aren't drunk or high on meth and then they got education and whatever like that. We're going to go with them. Debating about, well, what does it mean to be a Moor? And how does the Moorish... Because, again, Drew Ali already told us there's only going to be a handful saved. So don't think we're putting out some video expecting 50 million people to watch. Even though the thing says this video has had 3,000 views for the last 10 years. It's probably 3 million. Because we have the full voicemail and stuff like that. So Like what? Obviously, this is doing something. If the voicemail's full, obviously, every month, at least 15, 20 people a month call to find out. Other people just call and say Islam. Just thanks for all those videos, because it's not because of us. You know, Drawley said there's going to be temples there. Drawley said that. So now that there's a temple here, it has to be Drawley. Well, how is it because it's 100 years later, how is it him? All right. Time never was when man was not. And time is not linear. So there's no, it's not a ripple effect. It's more like a spiral. When we look at what Drawley left, in the Quran for Moors, and we realize that he wanted Moors to have knowledge. The Moors must have knowledge, because we're it. We're the last line of defense. Like, we're it. It's because Moors exist why they haven't completely stolen the birthright. But it's because of the people's incompetence why they got as far as they did. This is why, again, goes back to Drawley again, saying that we have to uplift fallen humanity, because endgame is they better get on this info. Endgame is you better know your nationality and your birthrights. When these people say, yeah, we're here to give you the shot for the thing. You better have a nationality. Because with a nationality, you would recognize your holy instructions from your prophet, the insufficiency of knowledge. And if these are holy instructions from the prophet, it matters not where it comes from. It's knowledge. You take it and do with it whatever you're going to do after. It's either going to inspire you or you don't need it. And Noble Drawley inspired Moors to study, have libraries. Picture of him with his hand on the book. What does he have a book for? He has a book just to pose for a picture? book to show you that he has a library. You have a night table. Just in a room. You think there's no books in there? We're not talking about the Noble Drew Ali or the Purple Ethers picture. Talking about the black and white with his hand on the book. If there is anything lovely, if there is anything desirable, if there is anything within the reach of man that is worthy of praise, is it not knowledge? And yet, who is it that attaineth it? Knowledge. Not the Tesla, not the condo with the open windows with the none of that. Knowledge. What's that? Knowledge. Well, what am I supposed to? Knowledge. You want to read something? Go read a dictionary. No, well, that's boring. Well, you got problems then. Because it has to be self-inspired. You know, you have to be the one to say, hey, hold on a second. What did he just say right there? And when your top gets blown off or whatever, you're supposed to hold your face and you're supposed to actually digest what just happened. And realize that, wow, that you want more. Like it's like crack. Oh my God, I just want it. Get me a book. I just need a book on the more, just anything. You go on Amazon going nuts. Going nuts. Don't even know what happened. Just because you attain knowledge, not even penetrating that, the fact that you're obtaining knowledge is why all the things around you are happening how they're happening. Because those brain waves are because it's all about knowledge. It's all about knowledge. The statesman proclaimeth that he hath it. The ruler of the people claimeth the praise of it, but findeth the subject that he possesseth it. Evil is not a requisite to man. Evil is not a requisite to man. So you're supposed to be more regardless. Regardless of your color, regardless of your religion, regardless of you're supposed to be more. Because once you're more, you're not gonna do the evil. And we already know man is Moorish American national. Evil is not requisite. Neither can vice be necessary to be tolerated. Yet how many evils are permitted by the connivance of the laws, the connivance of the laws? How many crimes committed by the decree of the council? But be wise, O ruler, and learn, O thou that art to command the nations. One crime authorized by thee is worse than the escape of 10 from punishment. Right? Now imagine that's the law. Right? Now let's say this is the law. What do you mean the law? That one crime authorized by thee is worse than escape from 10 of punishment. So anything that you do, if it's unjust, it's a crime and it's dealt with the harshest penalty. Spit, harsh penalty, you lose your tongue. Simple. Bet you don't spit. Or bet you do something discreetly in the bush or something like that. Right? One crime is worse than 10 people who escape because they got caught for doing a crime. If the penalty is that steep, I bet you won't do crime. I bet you won't do negative. You'll do positive. You learn that from young? Of course. Why would you do negative? If you're going to lose your hand because you did some BS, didn't do the dishes when your mom said do the dishes, you lose your hand. Do you think you wouldn't do the dishes? I bet you do the dishes, sweep up and do all the other stuff. with no issues. When the people are numerous, when thy sons increase about thy table, sendest thou them not out to slay the innocent, and to fall before the sword of him whom they have not offended? If the objects of thy desire demanding the lives of 1,000 saith thou not, I will have it, surely thou forgettest that he who created thee created also these, and that their blood is as rich as thine. Sayest thou that justice cannot be executed without wrong? Surely thine own words condemn thee. Right? When you're a hypocrite, justice is gonna get you. When you're a liar, when you're a traitor, when you're on the other side, thinking that the wrong that you're doing is benefiting something because the European gave you some trinket or something. Right? Their own words condemn them. And they talk it too. Like they talk as if they're not condemning themselves by their words. Thou who flattereth with false hopes the criminal, that he may confess his guilt, art not thou unto him a criminal? Flatter with false hopes to the criminal. Tell them they're going to give him a deal or whatever, give up the other guys. That's just as criminal as the person sitting there getting interrogated. When thou commandest to torture him, whom is but suspect of ill, darest thou to remember that thou mayest rack the innocent? Right? The rack and torture. Inquisition. Giving you the subtle lessons that it's Moorish everything. The fall, these people's rise, where we are right now, everything has to do with the Moors. And the pendulum's just swinging. Sometimes it's in favor of the Moors, sometimes it's against the Moors. It goes back to, again, knowing the astrological so you can know where to step. Because you step wrong, when the pendulum swings and you're in front of it, you got problems. You might not want to be in front of the pendulum when it's on its way back. And you're not looking to, on top of that, you're begging for it. So slow down and get knowledge. Because insufficiency of knowledge is going to have you in these situations. Is thy purpose answered by the event? Is thy soul satisfied with his confession? Pain will enforce him to say what is not, as easy as what is, and anguish hath caused innocence to accuse herself, that thou mayest not kill him without cause. Thou dost worse than kill him, that thou may prove if he is guilty. Thou destroyest him innocent. That's Rise of the Moors right now with the Moorish militia. That's right now with NBA whoever's that they got. That's right now with Irving even not even being able to play. Not like he needs the money, but it's the principle. Right? Destroying the innocent. Why are they destroying the innocent? What is the purpose of destroying the innocent? O blindness to all truth, O insufficiency of the wisdom of the wise, know when thy judge shall bid thee account for this. Thou shalt wish 10,000 guilty to have gone free, rather than one innocent to stand forth against thee. Insufficient as thou art to the maintenance of justice, how shalt thou arrive at the knowledge of truth? How shalt thou ascend to the footstep of her throne? As the owl is blinded by the radiance of the sun, so shall the brightness of her countenance dazzle thee in thy approaches. If thou wouldst mount onto her throne, first bow thyself at her footstool. If thou wouldst arrive at knowledge of her, first inform thyself of thine own ignorance. More worth is she than pearls, therefore seek her carefully. The emerald and the sapphire and the ruby are as dirt beneath her feet, therefore pursue her manfully. To what the way to her is labor. Attention is the pilot that must conduct thee into her port. But weary not on the way, for when art arrive at her, the toil shall be to thee for pleasure. This is knowledge. Knowledge is a her. Knowledge is a her. Knowledge is a throne. The throne is the lap of mother that the heir sits on. First bow thyself at her footstool. Because mother has to be honored. Mother is knowledge. You have to have that much honor for knowledge. Because knowledge is mother. Honest, all the studious Moors out there who been had their libraries up, been studying, been knowing thyself, not being insufficient of knowledge. Well, all this is about knowledge. Oh yeah, and the way to her is labor. The labor is the time that you put in to the knowledge. Whatever the knowledge is, it doesn't matter. Washing dishes, whatever. Right? The application of what you learned is where it's at. The stuff going in has to relate to something outside yourself that you can use it with. And the Moorish paradigm covers all bases, doesn't matter what you want to do. It's tied to the Moors. But the only way you're going to know is if you get knowledge. Say not unto thyself, behold, truth breedeth hatred, and I will avoid it. Dissimulation raiseth friends, and I will follow it. Are not the enemies made by truth better than the friends obtained by flattery? Are not the enemies made by truth better than the friends obtained by flattery? Woo! Keep your enemies close and your friends closer. Because your real enemy, like you actually, it's perfect. Two enemies become brothers. It's perfect. Like the enemy and truth. Your enemy. If truth sent your enemy, you should probably defeat your enemy so you can face the truth. The way to her is labor. Attention is the pilot that must conduct thee into her port. But weary not on the way, for when art arrive at her, the toil shall be to thee for pleasure. Say not unto thyself, behold, truth breedeth hatred, and I will avoid it. Dissimulation raises friends, and I will follow it. Are not the enemies made by truth better than the friends obtained by flattery? Naturally doth man desire the truth, yet when it is before him, he will not apprehend it. And if it is forced itself upon him, he will not offend it at it. The fault is not in truth, for that is amiable, but the weakness of man beareth not its splendor. Wouldst thou see thine insufficiency more plainly? View at thy devotions. To what end was religion instituted, but to teach thee thy infirmities, to remind thee of thy weakness, to show thee that from heaven alone art thou to hope for good? Doth it not remind thee that thou art dust? Doth it not thee that thou art ashes? And behold, repentance, is it not frailty? When thou givest an oath, when thou swearest thou wilt not deceive, behold, it spreadeth shame upon thy face and upon the face of him that receiveth it. Learn to be just, and repentance may be forgotten. Learn to be honest, and oaths are unnecessary. Learn to be just, and repentance may be forgotten. Learn to be honest, and oaths are unnecessary. And this is stuff that gets read all the time, and every time you read this, it's different. Every time. Every time. It's like, how many places did they go to get this information for this? Because reading this Quran is so vast in the realm of knowledge and thought. The shorter follies are, the better. Say not therefore to thyself, I will not play the fool by halves. He that heareth his own faults with patience shall reprove another with boldness. He hath given a denial with reason, shall suffer a repulse with moderation. If thou art suspected, answer with freedom. Whom should suspect affright, except the guilty? The tender of heart is turned from his purpose by supplications. The proud is rendered more obstinate by entreaty. The sense of thine insufficiency commandeth thee to hear, but to be just, thou must hear without thy passions. If thou art suspected, answer with freedom. Whom should suspicion affright except the guilty? The tender of heart is turned from his purpose by supplications. The proud is rendered more obstinate by entreaty. The sense of thine insufficiency commandeth thee to hear, but to be just, thou must hear without thy passions. Take all the emotions and stuff and put it over there, and deal with the fact that they never told you about Noble Drew Ali. They hid him from you. And they hid what he brought from you. Because he's the saving grace. He's what the ancestors and all that sent for us to be free. How we're talking about we want to be free, and how come they gotta do it, and all I want to do is just do it. They say I can't go in there without. They want to try to stress you out, so that way you can't blame them when something happened to you. Because it's happening to you, not them. You know, because they got vegan diet and all that stuff. They ain't. The Illuminati is not meat eaters. You're the one eating the babies and the burgers. They're vegan. You got electric cars and all that stuff. They ain't playing this game with you people. How do you think they rule? You don't get it? You still missing it? Because you have a prophet. You still have to give honors to the prophet for doing what it is that he did. You know, and we know that it wasn't no sacrifice and all that. We know that he's the man. did his work, got the hell out of here, and staying here with these niggers, these sellouts, white glove sellouts. You know, we know who they are. That's why it's about honors to him, honors to the Moorish movement, honors to the Moorish temples, honors to the Moorish nation and the Moorish empire. Supreme honors. Supreme honors. Because we already know what's up. Is our people gonna realize what's up? Because they're already at endgame. They're claiming there's something other than Moors. They're already done. They're about to go through the grinder next. Talk about stretching your hands out after you're halfway in the grinder. Just pull me out. For what? For what? So you just live as a half man? Shouldn't even been near the grinder. What are you doing near the grinder? What you been doing over there? Everybody's over here, down there, doing something down there, and then you're over here near the grinder. It's eating me. The signs all over the place. Don't go near the grinder. You're going and looking and stuff. That's our people. And don't get that they're playing themselves. Because they're looking at Moors, and then looking at the news, and then they're reading the newspaper, and then they're going online, and people are talking crazy about Moors, and they're not taking time to get some knowledge about this. And you come to your own position as to what this Moorish thing is. The Moors already know. Study, study, study. Whoever's mad about it, oh well, be mad. Go over there, go make some whatever document with those people over there. And go play document game. Go play who has the best document game. Instead of getting knowledge. And specifically knowledge about your nationality and your birthrights. And that is an all-encompassing, extremely deep realm to say you're going to get some info. Nationality and birthrights, because that's where it's at, and that's the only salvation that's left. I'm telling you right now, because people are realizing that the Negro black stuff ain't helping them with this stuff right here. It's not working. To push the fist in the air and wear a button, that stuff ain't working. Better know who you are. It's not some boasting whatever. Right. It's that. Standing up for rights is this. Knowing who we are is this. Having a community or a nation or whatever say that we want is this. You never seen anybody else rap like this. Look at all the people in the back. Like you never seen anyone rap like this. 1920s? And this is not the whole picture, this is a panoramic picture. So know that endgame is when we're here. And endgame for them is getting us not to be here. Because once we're this, now we're a nation. Now we could do all the stuff that we're saying that we want to do. Black bank and black whatever like that. Yeah, now you could go ahead and go do some black stuff. Because it's in your own jurisdiction. You know, you got El Bay, whatever like that, and have a black thing. Yeah, do your thing. It's under the Moorish Empire. You got a nationality card? Yeah. All right, you got. All right, you're Moorish all the way. You're not going over there and all that stuff. You're bringing all your stuff and you're coming into the Moorish thing, but you're going to be black still. No problem. Bring all your stuff. Got a nationality card? Yeah, all right. Let's go. Got paperwork? Yeah. Fez up turbans and all that? Yeah. All right. We get what you mean when you say you're black and all that. So yeah, you know what you're talking about. But that's not what it is. Yeah, we ain't black. Stop it. Let's get real. Nationality. Like this is what it was. Right? This was supposed to be in every jurisdiction. This was Chicago. This is how Chicago looked when it was popping. So if it looks like this, then every jurisdiction where Moors are at should look just like this. If we're in our own jurisdiction, call yourself whatever. When I say, what's your nationality? You say Moorish American. And I understand that we're not Negro black colored, but you know, I'm attached to this black thing, and I don't know if I can let go. You know, it's like a drug or something like that. Right. Whatever. No problem. You got a nationality card though, right? You're Moor. Yeah, I know I'm Moor. I just like to say I'm black. All right. Do your thing. Do your thing. But no, this is where it's supposed to be at. Wherever Moors are at, this is what it is. Forget who's in the picture. Right. Forget who's in the picture. Let's just say this is a picture of Moors. This is a picture of some Moors in America, in Chicago. Just doing your research. Right? You're just doing your research and you bump into this. This should make you ask some questions. Now, if you're doing your research and you're not bumping into this, you got me asking some questions. So who's been teaching you? Who's been telling you who's been telling you how to study? Who's been telling you what to study? It obviously wasn't Moors. So when we talk about Moors wherever they're at, those Moors should have a few times a year that they get together all in one place so people could see Moors. And again, it's only going to be a handful saved. Not going to be some multitudes. Because the turnover is crazy. But there's diehards. There's ones that are in this, and they're in this regardless of what. Doesn't matter what's going on in their life. Doesn't matter what's happening with their whatever. They're in 100. Nothing's going to stop them from being Moors. Those are the ones. Those are the ones. Those are the ones that are with the Prophet then. That are here now. This is us now. Because you go around at some Noble Drew Ali days and it's the same theme. That we are a nation. People can say whatever. But where's their documentation of their national whatever they claim that they're doing? And then what impact was it going to have on the people? Now, do you get how the whole idea in the 20s of having a way that people could get out of the Negro black slave status and be free in that time? And then when you get on this side, it's not even like you're getting on this side and there's no businesses or whatever. There's businesses and all that going on. You're not going from Negro black colored into Moorish American and then there's nothing there like it is right now. We're talking manufacturing companies that at that time, that would be a job. That would be a high-paying job that you could live good. At the Moorish factories, at the Moorish businesses, whether it's the individual with a business, whether it's the individual with a business, or a conglomerate of businesses You would have been coming into something Moorish. Your bank guy is going to be a Moor. Everything that you would have been doing as a slave would be with a Moor. Right? No, and it ain't, it's not on you why we're where we're at. What are you gonna do to keep the legacy going? You say that you're a Moor, all right, what are you doing to keep the legacy going? Then future generations, they can look at what have Moors done. And to this point, Moors have done a lot. Honors to all Moors who know that they're Moors, because everything that you do as a Moor means something. That vibration is absolutely important. That frequency of Moors being themselves. Moors being Moors. Moors not being, sometime-ish. Moors being Moors. And again, it goes back again to making sure that you're grounded with the knowledge, so that when you really say that you're yourself, your stance is firm. Your stance and your stance is firm in this. That it doesn't matter who, what, why, when, how. If you're a Moor, unless their hand extends beyond the universal creator, Allah herself, they can't change your descendant nature. Of course, Jamal Bey is himself, and all those other Moorish militia Moors. All of them were themselves. And why were they themselves? Because they've been themselves. They didn't just start saying they're Moors yesterday like you people. Or not even saying that you're Moors, but you got something to say about Moors. And you're in Moorish chat all the time. Like you're not learning something. Like you're not sneak studying. Stop the BS. You already know you're sneak studying. If you know my straw, then you are a fraud. Because that's not my straw. Just like Jay-Z and Sean Carter. You call him a straw? He's got two. Wrestler got his real name and the wrestling name. Don't try to confuse people by using straw. Because all capital letters names have nothing to do with Moors. Doesn't have to do with Moors. Because again, we're not with the insufficiency of knowledge. Moors have the knowledge. We already got our birthright. getting Moors off their square. Right. There's no getting Moors off their square because things have already been done. 10, 15 years for the record. That has nothing to do with straw. Because straw has nothing to do with Moors. What does straw have to do with Moors? There's more than straw. Unless you feed a horse or something like that, you have straw. You're feeding a horse. You baling hay? That's what you have straw for? What are you strawing? Because they want you to think that the straw is attached to you. Because it's sorcery. How are they going to tell you who you are? Because of some paper that came from some people who claim to be the government, but everybody knows they're Illuminati. And then these people are telling you, oh, well, you see, that's you. Because you have that driver's license. You have that passport. You have that thing. So that means that that's you. When the thing on it says what it is. Passport. License. That's what it is. Has nothing to do with the name on it. But no, that's too deep. That's too deep. Right? That's too deep. That is how deep it is. It's so deep that the lesson was the insufficiency of knowledge, which was the chapter, because it's holy day and we have, we got to do our. And then that was the lesson. So it's free time now, where now I could look at the chat. So we're answering your questions that you're asking, and you're not accepting the answer. Then that's on you. It ain't nothing to do with me. If you don't want the answer, fine. You're entitled to your opinion, but opinion is no proof of truth. Your opinion is useless, especially if you have no facts. Jamal is locked up, and all those other Moors are locked up because some modern Europeans who call themselves State of Massachusetts are violating constitutional law and international law. That's why Jamal and all those Moors are locked up. That's why. Because Riza Islam is on Medicare fraud charges, and he got bail. And they have a case on him. How he getting bail? Right. So what are Moors going to do? In Canada, the Europeans are going to press you to the vaccine. How? How are they doing that? How are they doing that? I don't know any Moors that got it out here. I don't know any Moors out here who's down with it. I don't know any Moors out here who have had some forceful situation because of them standing on their right. It's almost been very, very interesting. A lot of lessons are coming out from people using the Moorish birthright and saying, I think I have exemption. What do you mean exemption? Yeah, because I'm not Negro black colored. I'm not Margaret Sanger lab rat. I'm not that. I have a nationality. Oh, you thought I was Negro black colored? No. I'm not Negro black colored. Nothing personal. I'm just not Negro black colored. You know, all the other Negroes, you can do whatever you want with them. You know what I mean? No problem. I won't tell. You know. They're not playing any games with me. And they haven't played any games with me. They've been rather cordial. Yeah, too much BitChute. I know BitChute. I know they brought BitChute to trap certain people because there's no way that that's not them too. How's that not them? How's that not them? How's that not them? Do whatever they're doing and leave Moors out of it. That's all. Right? It's not about religious. That's the problem. People, every time Moors talk about Moors, people are looking at what we're saying as from some religious perspective. This is not religious. That's people's first mistake when it comes down with Moors. That they're looking at this as some religious thing. Why are they looking at it as some religious thing? Why is it religious? Well, Allah and certain things are mentioned. So what? So certain things are mentioned. What would that have to do with anything? It's not a religious thing. This is about nationality and birthrights. That's not religious. That's not religion. So stop making the comparison. Right? This is about knowledge. And once you get the knowledge, then apply the knowledge. Some stuff's going to work, some stuff's not going to work. But what else are you going to do with the knowledge that you have? You be a hoarder and just have it to yourself? Nothing working for you, and then maybe it worked for somebody else, and both of you could get something. The rise of incompetence. In a hierarchy, individuals tend to rise to their levels of incompetence. There is nothing more common than to hear of men losing their energy on being raised to a higher position to which they do not feel themselves equal. All public employees should be demoted to their immediately lower level, as they have been promoted until turning incompetent. We should enjoy a golden age of competence. We have easy access to so much information. YouTube videos show us how to do almost anything. Typing a question into a search engine very often retrieves helpful answers. We see impressive achievements. Automobiles run more efficiently and last longer. Air travel grows steadily safer. And worldwide distribution of a wide variety of products is efficient. Nevertheless, there is a sense that overall the world isn't running that smoothly. The governments seem inept. One industrial sector after another exhibits bad service, accidents, inefficiencies, and disastrous decisions. The financiers whose ruinous actions set the worldwide recession and unemployment didn't even lose their jobs. Didn't even lose their jobs, but you lose yours. And where's all the videos of all these other people getting their stuff who so-called in the government and all of that? All of them get it? Do you know? And like we were saying, could be anything. Some could have nothing. Some could just be nothing. Some people have reactions, some people don't. Who knows what's going on, what they're doing. And again, because of the incompetence. It had nothing to do with them. It had nothing to do with the evil government, shadow governments doing whatever. No, it's people's incompetence. That's the shadow government. People's incompetence. The insufficiency of knowledge. He only wants to be the man. They're a boy. They're a boy still. You're a boy, you want to be the man. It won't work. It's like keep pushing, getting knowledge. Learn the truth about your nationality and your birthrights. There's only going to be a handful saved. Make sure you're in the hand. You know what I mean? You have to be hanging on while it's getting pulled up. Make sure you're on the hand. Aim for the palm. Don't try to be on the fingers even. Try to be in the palm. Yeah, it's crazy. The incompetence is real. The incompetence is real. History shows that societies collapse when leaders undermine social contracts. We noted the potential for failure caused by an internal factor that might have been manageable if properly anticipated, says Richard Blanton, a professor emeritus of anthropology at Purdue University and the study's lead author. We refer to an inexplicable failure of the principal leadership to uphold values and norms that had long guided the actions of previous leaders, followed by a subsequent loss of citizen confidence in the leadership and the government and collapse. Again, when we look at having the nation, and I had all of them caught up in the prophet, few studying. The majority of the leadership are sellouts. had ulterior motives, weren't really with what it was about, which was for the longevity of this, not for them today, at that time. No, and still today. It ain't about us, it's about what the future's gonna have. We noted the potential for failure caused by an internal factor that might have been manageable if properly anticipated. So with Moors coming together as bodies, anticipate those people already. That's just what it is. Call it, you know, the 90-day training or whatever. You know? And then you keep up in the time. Because it's really how much time people put into it is what you're gonna get out. And then once the people are active, then that eliminates their internal factor, because everybody is going to be working for the betterment of it, not to sell it out. We refer to an inexplicable failure of the principal leadership to uphold values and norms that had long guided the actions of previous leaders. So Drew Ali telling us to honor the foremothers and forefathers. Honor the previous ones before us. And the principal leadership, grand sheikhs, grand governors, grand secretaries, grand supreme grand, whatever, all the different titles are to uphold the values and the norms that had guided it. But they didn't do that. What do they want to do? They want to go and claim that everything is for the Moors and for the nation and all that stuff, and not doing anything for the nation. Just doing it for his little pocket. And then doing it for the pocket and getting little benefits or whatever, and then not putting others on about how they're getting the benefit. Or if they are going to put them on, sell it to them in a package. Because the principal leadership did not uphold the values and the norms. So once that happened, of course there's going to be a loss of citizen confidence in the leadership. Now once that happens, then there's the collapse. And everybody went into their little whatever. Some people said that they're reincarnated Noble Drew Ali and started some other thing going that way and going over there and going there and going down there. And then you have the separation of the people into what they would call tribes today. And then they're pushing the tribe thing as if that's the conglomerate. That's the everybody as one. That's the Pangea. That's still tribal BS. That's still later. So there had to be a time when there was one, when all the frequencies were vibrating on the planet. And only through knowledge Will we make it to that place? Whatever it is you're embarking on, it's about knowledge. Gaining as much as you can from that thing you are learning. Only way you're going to get out of it. Islam tells the Moors. I guess we got a little extra. We got some extra time. We must have did something proper. Not bothering us right now. Happy holy day to all the Moors. Don't forget, if you're on the stereo app, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time, Icon Bay show. Is there a color of Allah? Every morning, all the Moors just building. Just building. Honest all the Moors worldwide. Study, study, study. Always remember, do not be the ones who don't uphold the values and the norms that has long guided our actions. Noble Drew Ali told us, honor our foremothers and our forefathers. We were told to do it. However you choose to do that, that's up to you. But if you're doing that, know that that's Noble Drew Ali. That was his lesson too. This wasn't just some religious thing. This was also divine. It wasn't just a nationality thing. This was also divine. And if it's divine and it's national, then it's good. Honors to all the Moors. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Don't forget, go to Khalifa Media and go to Moorish Directory. Study, study, study. rbbaypublications.com. Study, study, study. Don't be, man. You might want to take a break sometime, you know what I mean? Watch a movie or something. Don't be, you can relax sometime. You can chill sometime. But get some knowledge. It's the only savior right now. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the mothers. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Happy holy day to all the Moors. Islam.